Hey everyone, it's me, Courtney. I just wanted to say a couple of things. Number one, if you know me in my personal life and you've been friends with me for a while or we're on Facebook with each other, you know that I'm actually quite politically active and I have actually a lot of strong views. And because I've been a teacher since I was 21 years old, and also am a business owner, I don't always express my political views on my Salt and Sage Instagram account. The reason I feel called to discuss so many things more recently is because this is not about politics any longer. It hasn't been about politics for a really long time, but we've continued to make that kind of like political division something that, what is the word, justifies, helps us process, allows us to accept some of the things that we are seeing. And I completely understand empathy overload. I understand overwhelm. I understand not wanting to watch too much of the TV and hear about the news cycles. I also understand that it's hard to care about so much at once, and I understand that sometimes we need to protect our peace, and sometimes we need to choose the issues, topics, and struggles that we choose to engage with because of the overwhelm, especially for people who are sensitive to energy and sensitive to a lot of emotions that can be dark and heavy. Just gonna stop for a minute. I've also taught a lot of books in my 27 years as an educator. I've created a lot of units with big picture questions. I've also learned how to ask people to think for themselves rather than me telling them what to think. I've brought in literature, I've written literature, I've designed curriculum, I have held myself to very high standards when it comes to being somebody who wants others to think for themselves. And right now, the reason I am saying what I'm going to be saying is because this is no longer about politics in the sense that it's not impacting you or it's just impacting one group. We are now in a space in humanity, collectively, where we are being called to act in a way that we would want others to act for us. I grew up with the golden rule. You treat people the way you want to be treated. A lot of you guys are religious, maybe you're spiritual, maybe some of you are atheists, maybe some of you identify with Trump's policies, maybe some of you identify with Kamala Harris's, maybe some of you are red all the way, maybe some of you are completely blue in the middle or independent. I want you to just kind of sit with what I just said and those labels. I've talked about this before. You actually aren't any of those. And it's time that you ask yourself, what are you? And what do you stand for? And what would you want done if this was impacting you, if it's not currently? So the golden rule is you treat others the way you wish to be treated, right? We probably have heard that. Most cultures, religions, teachings say something similar. Love your neighbor as yourself. Do unto others as you wish who have done to you. This idea of just kind of like walking each other home, taking care of each other. Right now, there is not enough of that. It is really hard to know what to do right now. But my answer to what do we do, in addition to sending love, in addition to creating the world you want to live in, is also to remembering that we are all connected here. If I were to be taken down in the street and shot on camera, how would you respond? If that were to happen to you, how would you want your family and friends to respond? That seems horrible and dark and morbid, and I don't really want you to kind of think about that scenario at all. But that's what's happening right now. We have people who are being mistreated in our country, and we are not outraged enough. And this is coming from somebody who is a healer, someone who is very sensitive, someone who wants peace, someone who has not gotten too aggressively political on this app in a really long time. But we need each other right now. And your family needs you. And so I don't want you to do anything that you're not comfortable doing. You do not have to go out and protest. You do not have to kind of like put yourself in dangerous situations. But you are being called right now to ask what it is that you should be doing, could be doing. What is the next thing? What is the needed thing? What are your gifts? What tools and resources do you have that you can share with the world? I know for me, using my voice is something that I'm very good at, and I oftentimes am called to do. Sometimes I struggle with that. But right now, it's not about me. And I think that that's something that is a universal truth. It's about all of us. It's about the future. It's about the life and the country and the world we want to create for future generations. And if you're not even aware of what I'm talking about, that's not a problem. That's totally fine. But if you're someone who has at least gotten a notification, it has turned on the news, has scrolled through Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to stay angry at you if you voted a certain way, but I am going to ask you right now to put aside your vote. Put aside the color you identify with, the party you identify with, and really dig deep into your heart. Because if you were shot in the street for helping somebody, would you want or imagine or expect us to be outraged? Because the truth is, I would be outraged for you. I would be outraged for your family that they didn't get to have you anymore, for your children that you didn't get to come home that day. I would be outraged because it's unfair, it's unlawful, it's not right. It's not what should be happening to people anywhere. My best advice today is to look at people and really truly see them. See yourselves and others. Doesn't matter if you speak the same language, live in the same place, are the same age, are the same culture, the same religion, the same politics. You have got to see yourself in other people. You have got to see the humanity in human beings, even if they're ugly, dirty, gross, different. That's the only way that we are going to be able to kind of get out of this, is that we see people and we care about people. And we care about ourselves, and we don't ignore the fact that there is a lot of anger, violence happening right now. And it shouldn't just be one group that's pissed. Don't get mad. Don't harden your heart. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to continue to stay open-hearted. But I'm asking you to see each other and to dig very, very deep. Obtain the wisdom that you need right now in order to process this, in order to do what you feel is best. You can't only care about something when it affects you directly. That's why we're here. So find the balance, find the love, find the truth. Sit with yourself and honor what comes up in your heart. And then act accordingly. All right? Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. And one more thing is, what kind of healer would I be if I didn't call for us to heal?